Hello everyone, my name is Angela Zabel. I am a teacher, coach, and medium. Today I wanted to talk about when, I don't know what words I can use on YouTube, but when stuff hits the fan and everything's kind of going crazy, what is going on? Am I screwing up as a human? Do I have to do something different? Am I just going down a deep hole and I thought I was doing good? What happened? When all these things happen in life and kind of take you down at times, you're really wondering, you self-doubt. You put all that on you and you kind of look at, am I doing something wrong? Am I falling into a hole? What's going on? So I want to cover some of that today. So when that happens, when you feel like you're doing so good and all of a sudden you just feel like you're taken right down, what's happening in actuality is you have been moving yourself up energetically and you've been doing a great job doing it. But because we're moving up at such a fast pace, then we get up to the top and we kind of slide back down. You know the saying, one step forward, two steps back? I want to take a little bit out of that. This is two steps forward, one step back. So that's the difference in how things are happening at this time with this new energy. As we go up, we get up there, but we're not quite used to that new energy yet. And then we'll slide back down because there may be something we need to go through, work through in our lives to then bring ourselves back up again. But every time we slide back, we are not going to the bottom or further back than what we ever have been. Instead, we are actually moving ourselves up the ladder a little bit more. So kind of think of it as you're going up a hill. And then there's a little valley in the hill, so you go back down. But when you go down, you're still up the hill. You maybe only go down a little ways, and then you come back out of that valley and you're going back up. And then as you're walking up the mountain, another valley comes in, so you kind of go back down. But then you're going back up again. So as you can see, you're consistently going up energetically. But every once in a while, there's something we need to take care of, something we need to clear out, and then continue to move ourselves up that hill, up that ladder, however you want to visualize it. But one thing we don't want to do is think that we're right back where we came from, because you are never, ever right back where you came from. In some level, you are above where you were before, but you are going into uncharted territory. And just think, if you go into, think of this. When you go to the store and everything's always the same, you've been in that store a million times, and then what does the store do? They move everything around. And when they move everything around, you walk into that store and you're like, what the heck happened? How do I find anything? Now it's going to take me longer to find my way around the store and get where I need to be and get what I need out of the store. But the thing is, because you were already familiar with what was in the store, you can start figuring it out and finding it again. And then you find it quicker, and then boom, you're right back up again. This is kind of the same thing. So you're comfortable, and you know where everything is in your life, and you know how everything's operating, and you're good. And then, so you're just kind of cruising along, and you're feeling really good, and then, oh man, I gotta rearrange the store again. There's something not quite right in the store. And that's in us, something not quite right. So you might have people coming into your life that bug you. People that may try to take advantage of you. People who may try to push your buttons. None of us have had any of that, right? But those people are there to remind us that we have something to work on. So if people are pushing your buttons, and you're kind of going up, and then all of a sudden, boom, everybody's pushing your buttons. You're like, what the heck? then it's time to look within yourself and go, why are they pushing my buttons? Because I am letting them push my buttons. So that means I'm believing something about myself that I'm letting them push my buttons. Because they can't push your buttons unless you let them. And that's understanding, and that's going within like, okay, what's the deal? Do I not feel I'm worthy on some point? Do I feel like I need to let other people take control of things in my life? Do I feel like I'm always getting taken advantage of? Those are beliefs you may have. Or do you always feel like the victim? So those are beliefs that we are carrying in ourselves. And this is the time to examine them, because in this time, in this new energy, this is all about realizing we are not victims. We are agreeing with others, and we are falling into victimhood. But in actuality, we have every option in the world to step right out of that. That victimhood is something ingrained and taught, because what does victimhood create? The ability that you can't do it on your own. Because if all of us could do everything and accomplish everything on our own, and that's not saying that you can't have people help, stuff like that, but to say that we cannot do it without anyone else's help, that creates victimhood. And if everybody believed they could do it on their own, and they could work with other people if they wanted to, just think if everybody believed that you can do it on your own, and nothing is holding you back, then how much control would other people, even your governments, your schools, if you start thinking of all the things that rely on us being victims, all those things would go away and things would change to be supportive of people letting their own light shine. But that's a little scary to a lot of people, and even to ourselves. A lot of people here, like, I need those people I need those organizations, I need everything in place in order for me to live. But in actuality, there's a more cooperative way of doing things. And as we realize that and we step out of victimhood, we start letting those things go. And then our energy is just going up. We may have a little blip and we go back down again and we're like, oh, but that's all we are. And then we realize, no, I think we're much more than that. And then we go right back up again. And more of us are doing this, going up and up and up. And by doing that, we are shifting the energy. So every time you go down and every time crap hits the fan, every time that happens, you're only going down a little bit, just for self-examination. And then you can move yourself right back up. So think of that the next time that happens. Instead of it going, oh God, I've got to deal with this again. Instead go, oh, just a little thing I've got to self-adjust on, and then keep going. It's kind of like if you've got a great race car, and as you're running that race car, you got it to the limit and you're going really good, but then it kind of, all of a sudden, boom, it starts losing power. So you take it into the pit stop, and like, if I do a little adjustment, just a little bit of adjustment, I'm going to get more speed, more power, and it's going to be able to go again. And then you go up, 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 and you get it up to that speed, you're doing great, and then all of a sudden something happens in the engine a little bit, and you've got to take it back in. So those are constant adjustments. That doesn't mean the car went back down to where it was at the beginning. Of course not. It went up higher each and every time. You're fine-tuning. Just like an Olympic athlete, we are all fine-tuning ourselves. So the next time you go down in energy and you feel like, oh my God, what's going on? Realize you are fine-tuning. This is your opportunity to fine-tune the part you may have missed yet. you're going to make that little adjustment, that little self-course adjustment, and off and running you go again until you hit the next level. And then it's like, oh, I got to do another adjustment. So you might fall down a little bit and like, oh, there's one more adjustment in there. Where you got it up close, but there's a few things you got to tweak. So realize this is your chance to tweak things because you are going up so fast. We all are. And with that, that is why we have those ups and downs. But the downs are a lot smaller than they used to be. And I think even if you look back, you realize that before you might have been in months or years of depression, of sadness, of just feeling unworthy. But now you're realizing even now you might fall down, but it's not as long. It's not as big as it used to be because you're consistently going up. So remember that as you go through this, you are gaining ground. You are self-adjusting. You are going out of victimhood. So give yourself a break. Say, great job. Go do something fun when you get down there and say, you know what? I'm just on a course correction and I'm off and running after this. So keep that in mind. Give yourself some kudos for how far you've come and how much further you're going up in energy, because we are all doing it, and we're doing it faster and quicker than has ever happened in history. So with that, keep that in mind and know you're on the right track. We're just doing small course adjustments. And with that, have yourself an amazing day. And I forgot, you got to subscribe, click, and hit the notification button. And if you like this video, comment below, because I'd love to hear your comments. And with that, now have yourself an amazing day. Thank you.